Riven mains and Yasuo mains alike. I am the Nightwing, Way of Life Esports, coming at you guys with another League of Legends video. So if I have to say a few quick things before I actually start the video. Number one is I know I haven't been the best at League of Legends content. I just kind of got full creative control over the channel within the last past, 3 months of having the channel. And today is Thanksgiving in my country, the United States of America, and we celebrate Thanksgiving, and we usually say what we're thankful for. I am thankful that I am able to have 2 YouTube channels where I can provide great content to all of my subscribers. And you guys are new to me. I don't really know you that much. You don't really know me. But I'm glad you found me when I was able to be at a low amount of subscribers. And overall, the channel was at 60 to 80 subscribers, and with me having the channel at full creative control, I went from 80 to 300 people. That's actually incredible. I didn't even think that my knowledge of League of Legends, the competitive scene, would get me far, but I realized that I can just get better at it, and you guys have helped with that. So I want to say I'm thankful to all of the new subscribers to my family that I now have known with you guys. Thank you guys all. I know sometimes I can be kind of, I don't call it mean. I'm just real with my opinion, you know? I'm not mean. I'm just real with my opinion. Let me explain. If I'm thinking something about a team and there's a good chance other people think the exact same thing, I'm just able to say it on camera, I'm going to say it, you know? There might be some days where it comes off as bias, but it's not coming off as bias. It is 100% coming from a truly honest place of my way of thinking. And that could be wrong, and a lot of people have helped me out with that, with a lot of your comments and a lot of your discussion topics. Thank you guys all for your support. It really does mean a lot. This channel is here to stay, and I love League of Legends content, and moving forward into next year, I have a lot of plans for the channel so far. Twitch streaming is going to be a thing where I'll be able to answer a lot of your questions regarding League of Legends, or I'll even play League of Legends actually in front of you, and you can just see how actual garbage I am at the game. But other than that, I want to say I'm thankful for this channel, and I'm thankful that I get to, talk to you guys about League of Legends. I was literally talking to my friends about League of Legends for years, actually. I've been watching this game competitively since 2014 Worlds, so I had to go back and backtrack all the way to where I can watch it consistently. So after that, I went from 2014 Worlds, after it ended, watched the whole thing, went back, watched 2013 with the LCS when it first started, watched that World, All-Stars, everything. Then 2015 started fresh, watched everything all the way up till now. So I was like, if I love talking about League in real life, why not just create a YouTube channel for it? And it worked out pretty well. So thank you guys all for your continued support. It really does mean a lot. Thank you all. And I'm thankful to have every single one of you here. But enough of that. Time to talk about Team Liquid. Yes. So every single LCS team will get a video. And I know I have some 100 Thieves fans out there. You guys will be getting a video. You best believe you're getting one. All right. So let's talk about Team Liquid. So Team Liquid has won back-to-back championships. They are the first 4P organization in the North American LCS and are on track to become the 6P champions. Now, let's talk about their roster. Their roster now is Doublelift, Core JJ, Jensen, Broxa, and Impact. Yes, you heard that right. Broxa from Fnatic left Fnatic and is now joining Team Liquid. Now, let's talk about this team. Where do I start off with? So basically, a lot of people are going to ask me, do you think that Xmithie was worse or better than Broxa? It's really hard to say, because a lot of people, I think, use that straw man argument of who is better, really not the way you can actually accurately say that. So let me break this down for people who don't actually understand. When someone is better than someone, specifically for League, more than any other game, it's really hard to tell, because there are comps, there are team plans, there are game plans going into a game that the teams prep. So let's say there's a game where it looks like Broxa is just blatantly running it down. Now, I'm not saying that he's not playing bad. What I'm saying is that there could be a game plan to which where one player looks worse than other players based off what is based in their composition. If that can make sense to you. Why does Doublelift look like the flashy star of Team Liquid? Because they're always playing around him. They're always giving him priority in the draft. They're always giving him the champions he wants. He always gets a counter pick, or even if he doesn't get the counter pick, he's always choosing a favorable matchup. And even if he doesn't get that favorable matchup, he's still managing to win. That is a big portion of how Team Liquid likes to play. So when people say Xmithie and Broxah had a pretty overall solid year, yes, I'm not saying that Broxah was worse than Xmithie nor better. What I'm going to say is that they were both on a relatively even playing field. Fnatic was a team with Broxah that liked to play through bot lane and mid priority. Team Liquid just was solely played through bot priority. That's pretty much what I can say about that. Is Broxah an upgrade over Xmithie? Yes and no. It's not as cookie cutter or black and white as some people would say. I think that Broxah adds a layer to the team that, well, Xmithie doesn't. Xmithie's not the blabber. He's not the self-made. He's not the Tarzan player. He's the consistent player who likes to, do the methodical plays like Cuz, like your, who's the other jungler? I'm not going to say Ning. Ning is coin flippy. Holy crap, I was going to say Ning. Who's another jungler I can relate to? Canyon is a player that I can relate Xmithie to on some level. They like to play fairly methodical. You can tell their pathing is a lot different than the average aggressive jungler. And TL's playstyle from this year wasn't really fast-paced. I think that their non-issues with not being fast-paced really hurt them later on during the year. Because yes, though you are good in every single position, at one point, you not conforming to the meta at some point better than the other teams was going to catch up to you. And it did. We saw that at Worlds during Week 2, where they were just completely outclassed by the faster-paced teams. MSI didn't really reflect that because it's because MSI has so little teams that results can be so out of whack. Worlds has more teams, more playstyles that a lot of people can decipher from. So moving into this season, with Broxah taking over for Xmithie, I think this team is better in terms of being a lot more consistent in the early game, because the issue why a lot of people thought they could beat Team Liquid was because you could either exploit, and I said this too, go back and watch previous videos. I said you can exploit Xmithie and you can exploit Impact and then you'll win. Now with Broxah and Impact, being able to exploit that top side is going to be even harder for people, because we know Broxah likes to tailor his gank patterns towards one side of the map. You can go back and watch Fnatic games. He did it to Bwipo. He did it to bot lane. He didn't really gank for Nemesis all the much that he ganked for Caps. I think that it wasn't just synergy issues. I think they just don't play the exact same playstyle. Nemesis likes to play kind of... It's weird how to say he likes to play. He likes to play aggressive when it matters, but plays more passive when it kind of just nothing is happening. But he can be that really good player that we know him to be. So Broxah being a upgrade over Xmithie is possible, but I think that right now, looking at it, it's more like an even side grade trade. But I do think in the future, Broxah is going to be an upgrade for them. And we know TL likes to upgrade in every single position if a player is actually not playing that well. It's just known. They've did it for, now years at this point. So I don't think them doing it next year after 2020 is over is going to be any different. So that's my opinions on Broxah. I think he is an upgrade to a certain extent. He can play the more early game aggressive junglers, get you an early game advantage. Xmithie likes to be very methodical, which pretty much puts him at a slower rate than faster paced junglers, as we saw at Worlds with faster junglers like Canyon, Ning, and we saw it even with AHQ's garbage trash jungler that they had. So let's look at top lane. So top lane for Impact, he is a very solid, consistent player. He actually had a really good MVP performance this past split. Now, at Worlds, he played pretty bad, all things considered, but the criticism of Impact was he couldn't play carries that well as other people could. Going past this year, he played carries pretty much all year, if you look at his stats, and he played fairly consistently. So his issue, I think, is that him being a lane threat. He's not a lane threat. But sometimes you don't have to be a lane threat. Sometimes you can just be a consistent player that does the job right. Now, I think people like to use the consistency scapegoat as a thing like, oh, he's consistent, so he's good. No. You have to be consistent and good for that to really work. Because if you're consistent and bad, which doesn't really make sense, you can't be consistent and bad, because if you're consistently bad, you are going to get exploited and you are going to lose. So I think that when you're looking at impact, you have to look at him as a player like, okay, he can carry if given the resources, but he's not going to be a lane dominant threat. But sometimes for these teams that are going to be in the NALCS, the rosters that were actually put together, it's not really going to matter. But it is going to matter for international competition for TL. All right, so let's look at the mid lane. So Jensen, I love my boy Jensen. You guys know me, Cloud9 G2 fan. Love me some Jensen. He hard ran it down at Worlds. No one should be able to debate that. This guy hard ran it down. He actually ran it down. It's hilarious. But he is good enough for the NALCS. That's why they didn't obviously kick him, because why would you do that? He literally just had like a few bad tournaments. Remember, this was his year to go to MSI, see the international competition. He's not going to be a rookie. He's not going to be a Caps, but he's going to be really solid, very performance driven, and very carry oriented, that you can play around him. I think the issue with Jensen is if he gets back to his Cloud9 days with Broxa, if Broxa and Jensen can be a mid-jungle duo combo like Svenskeren and Niski were this past split, that can be incredible, because that's going to be, if they can just synergize well. Just think about that. Broxa and Jensen would be the best mid-jungle duo possibly beside Dardoch and Bjergsen on TSM. Alright, so Jensen, he needs to kind of go back to his roots of his Cloud9 days, get his carry boots on, start carrying some games. I better not see an Orianna game where he's just running it down mid again. I'm gonna lose my mind, man. But I still think he's a very good player, and most people know he is. I think people are gonna be like, oh, he had a bad MSI, he had a bad World, this player sucks. I mean, every player has bad like games. It just happens. But I'm not gonna scapegoat that. It just, obviously happens. Bot lane. CoreJJ and Doublelift, the best bot lane in the league. By far. I don't care what people say. Doublelift has won literally every single split since 2017 summer. We're in 2020 now. Guess how many splits that has been? 5. He's won every single championship since then, not counting the ones he won previously. Remember? Those are also things you have to count. So, what is the next issue for this bot lane? Challenge. The next issue for this bot lane is fundamental challenge. They are not getting challenged here. Now, with the new bot lanes put together, this is probably a reason why they're not going to get challenged again. Because the new bot lanes are just what they are. They're new bot lanes. So, it's okay. So let me explain this to the new players. If two people, let me put this in our real life terms. Let's say you're married, and your best friend goes up to you, and he's like, "Hey, dog, I'm gonna get a girlfriend. Me and her are thinking about getting together." You are able to give your friend better advice because you've been in a relationship. You know how it is. That's the same thing with them towards other bot lanes. They've been a bot lane longer. They're going to have inherent synergy and also have an inherent playstyle unique to them that they know how to actually interact on, and that they know how to overall, execute better. Sven and Vulcan, I think are going to be a good bot lane, but they're going to have issues because they're just new to each other. Bang and Zeyzal, everybody's hyping up right now, is going to have an issue. They have not played together consistently. And against Double from CoreJJ, players who've been together this long also are going to be the most synergized bot lane coming into this split, are going to have the best advantage over them. And it's too early to call right now who's going to win the split, but TL are going to be in the finals. I just don't. It's either going to be a TL versus TSM final, or it's going to be a TL versus Cloud9 final. I have faith in Cloud9 that they'll get it together. They always do. I have faith in TSM, at least in this. Let's just say I have faith in TSM, this roster. One of those rosters is going to get to finals. Potentially. I mean, it literally is just me prediction, right? So, I think that they have the best bot lane. as for NALCS, they have one of the best mid laners. Broxa can be a really good jungler. But the issue with this TL roster comes with one thing. Well, two things. The game is changing. We know that. If you guys have played solo queue, the game has fundamentally changed. It's ganking is going to be a lot more. This past year for any league, LEC, LPL, LCK, LCS, you will see who is the best jungler, because this meta that's coming up is all going to be based on who is the smarter player. Whoever is the smarter player is going to win. You'll see it. You will see it. That's why people are picking up good junglers, because this next meta coming up is really jungle dependent in terms of how much the game has changed. And Doublelift is not challenged here, and I can't say he is going to get challenged because he hasn't happened yet. Like, I would like to say, yeah, my boy Sven is coming in, my boy freaking Bang is going to destroy him. People said that literally, this past year. It didn't happen. Remember when me and JTH did those ADC rankings and he ranked Sven number 1 and I ranked Doublelift number 1? I mean, that should already kind of tell you what happens. People think they could come over here and beat him. It just doesn't happen. Now, that could be because they have the worser team than he does. That doesn't really play into the factor. I'm talking about specifically just laning phase. Specifically just being a priority lane carry. They have the best bot lane. They have one of the best top laners. They have theoretically one of the best junglers. They have pretty much one of the best mid laners. They're probably going to win the split again. They are our best shot at international success along with Cloud9, but I don't know yet. But I think this roster does have some promise to them, and it's all about, can TL win their 5th split in a row? That's going to be the narrative for TL, but it's going to be either up to TSM or Cloud9 to take them down, because I'm not trying to rag on anybody else's team, but those other rosters look really suspect and look very underwhelming. I'm just saying. But 100 Thieves, I think, is going to be a dark horse. That's what I'll say right now. I do believe 100 Thieves will be a dark horse. I don't know where I'm ranking all these teams yet. I'm just talking out of my mind right now. But yeah, that's it. So what do you guys think about TL coming into LCS Spring 2020? Do you guys think they'll win their, 5th split in a row? Do you think they'll be the number 1 team? They are the team to beat right now. That's just facts. So, see you guys later. Like, comment, subscribe. Most of all, enjoy. I'm the Nightwing, and Way of Life Esports is signing out.
Hi there, guys. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel for more stuff.
Yeah, thank you.